Om Vakrtunda Mahakaya Koti Surya Samprabha Nirvighna Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Vagarthaviva Sampriktau Vagartha Pratipattaye Jagatah Pitaro Vande Parvati Parameshwarau Yenaksharasamamnayam Adhigamya Maheshwarat Kritsnam Vyakaranam Proktam Tasmai Paninaye Namaha Vakyakaram Vararuchim Bhashyakaram Patanjalim Paninim Sutrakarancha Pranatosmi Munitrayam. It's good to see you all. Many of you have taken the time to do the homework, which I appreciate very much, because it does take a lot of time. I know it takes a lot of time, because if I do it, I know it takes, even me, it takes time. And even after I do, there are people who will point out I missed something or I made a mistake, which is wonderful. Because how many times ever you check, you leave something behind. That tends to happen. So I'll discuss some of those exercises first today, a little. Okay. And then we will proceed forward. So I think around 20 of you have submitted the exercises 1 and 2, around 20, which is good. I hope the others also do so. So that, because unless we do the exercise, we don't even understand what we don't know. It sounds very simple, but when we get to do it, doubts start coming up. That's how it tends to happen. Okay. So the first part of the exercise, the question was about, both exercise 1 and exercise 2. If you look at, looking at exercise 1 here for an example. So we said, identify the person, gender, and the ending letter of the noun basis, the pratipadika. All right. Most of you have got it right. 90%, I would say, that the person, at least everybody has got it right. Asmad is 1, Yushmad is 2, and everything else is 3. But I found 1 or 2 where they put 1, 2, 3 for some of them, which is not right. Okay. Guru cannot be 1, 2, 3. Guru can only be 3. So somebody put Guru as 1, 2, 3. I don't know if it was a slip or it was deliberate. So I'm just mentioning that. Then the gender, we will come back to in a second. Ending letter is very straightforward. Whatever is the last letter. 90% of you have got it right. 1 or 2 people had a problem with this. Rikaranta. See, the last letter here is R. But I remember a couple of people answering it as Tru. That is a last plus a penultimate. See, Tru has got 2 components, Takara and Rikara. We want only the last letter. So it has to be R and not Tru. You will not find a Tru ending question. Yes, Harsha, you have a question? Unmute yourself, please.
Swamiji, on the Sarva Shabda, should it be A or should it be?
I'll come to that in a second. Okay. But I'm saying first the last letter. I'm addressing the last letter first. Okay. So any questions on the last letter? It should only be one single varna. It cannot be a combination of a halanta, a consonant followed by vowel. Now, some of you may have written Yushmad as the without the halanta. Halanta means this line, okay? Line below the da, which makes sure it's a consonant. If you write it that way, I'm fine, but you should know that it's only consonant ending. The way in Sanskrit, suppose I ask you to pronounce it. Can you pronounce this? You can't. Unless you add a vowel, you can't pronounce a consonant. That is a test of a consonant. So how do you pronounce it then? We add a kara. We say dakara, kakara, makara, takara. That way you're telling I'm only meaning the consonant or the vowel. Vowel will be akara. See, even in dakara, they look like the and a. When you voice it. But what you should understand, dakara stands for just the. Ikara will be E. I don't want you to spend time writing ikara, etc. Just write it, but understand it can either end in a consonant or a vowel. That's the basic division. And only one, not two. So thr would be wrong. This thr, if somebody wrote, it is wrong. It has to be just. All right. That's the only thing I would say about the last letter. Now let's come to the next question now about what about gender. So person we are okay, ending letter we are okay. What about the gender? Gender, we have a situation where some words will be there in multiple genders. Okay. When I say multiple genders, it doesn't mean that the noun base for all the genders is the same. Okay. The noun base can be a little different. It starts with a common base. It starts with a common base. Now, the general rule is the common base itself will work for masculine, will work for neuter. These two it will work. But the common base may not necessarily work for feminine. You may need some extra work to get a feminine pratipadika. Okay. If you recall, let me share this with you. If you recall, just 1 second, okay. This diagram, which we looked at long ago, what did we see here? There is a pratipadika, and to a pratipadika, if you add a stri pratyaya, you get back a pratipadika, which is what? A pratipadika which is feminine. Get this? So every pratipadika which you want to decline as feminine has to go through this cycle. Whether something changes or not is irrelevant. It has to go through this circuit. Now, I'll give an example. You just now, Harsha asked the question about sarva. Sarva means what? All. Does it have a gender? In reality, in practice, in our language, not for the grammar. The English word all, for example, does it have a gender? There's no gender. All will work fine with any gender, right? Right? Of course, you will say they all. You will never add, even there is no plural for she. There is no plural for he. You only have they, which is very convenient in English. But in Sanskrit, what do you have? You have for example, he is what? Saha. Right? She is what? Sa. He, many, is what? Te. Saha, tau, te. She, many, is what? Sa, te, taha. Taha. So, te is not the same in Sanskrit. And if you have many fruits, neuter, what will it be? It will be tani. Right? Tatte, tani. So now the question is, there is a gender. In Sanskrit, there is a gender even for the pronoun. Sarva is no exception. It has a gender. Right? So when you see the word sarva, if you take it just as the word sarva, as it stands, then it cannot be feminine, because feminine is sarva akaranta. But masculine is sarva, neuter is sarva. So some people wrote masculine, I'm okay with that. You write masculine neuter, okay with that. You write all, I'm okay with that. In the sense that when you say all, I want you to understand that the all doesn't mean that the feminine will also be akaranta. That far you don't go. You don't go to the point of thinking that sarva shabda in feminine also akaranta strilingaha. It is not. What is it? Akaranta strilingaha sarva shabdaha akams. Right? But for the purpose of this exercise, where we are looking at what is the gender of these words. In fact, when I give sarva, I do give the answer as A, all genders, deliberately. Why? So that you understand It is all one gender. Whether it's servine, masculine or feminine or neuter, the pratipadika is really the same. It may undergo a change, not in the meaning, but in the form of the word to give you the feminine pratipadika. Is this clear? Similarly, extend it a little further now. Now I say, the one who experiences something, the agent of experiencing something. What is that person called? Bhokta, right? Karta, Bhokta, you heard this so many times in Vedanta. But now what is the pratipadika for Bhokta? What's the noun base? Bhoktru. Pratipadika is Bhoktru. Rikaranta Prati. Correct? Now the point is, you tell me in English, enjoyer, experiencer, is there a gender? She, he, it, any gender? No. In the meaning of the word, is there a difference between whether I experience heat or you experience heat of the summer? Is it different or same? It's the same. Experiencing is same. Experiencer, because of grammar, there's a gender. So if the experiencer happens to be a man, we say bhokta. Right? What if it's a neuter? You have to say bhoktru. Bhoktru, bhoktrini, bhoktrini, you'll have to say. It won't be same as masculine. And if it's feminine, what do? In feminine, it will become bhoktri. And it will decline like Nadi. It will decline like Nadi. Now, when you see bhoktru in the exercise, you may have answered pullinga. I'm okay with that. You say masculine and neuter, question mark. That's also fine because it's a valid question. And if you said all, that I'm very happy because hopefully you understood what I'm talking about there. Okay. It's not just about bhoktru, etc. Now let us say, you have a participle. Participle means what? English word participle. In Sanskrit, if I won't tell you, typically kridantas. What are kridantas? You take a dhatu, and to the dhatu, you add a pratyaya, which is called a krit pratyaya. You know what's the result? You get a pratipadika. And the pratipadika is called a kridanta pratipadika. All right. Now let's take an example. An example is this. Let us say I am reading. I'm reading. Gam dhatu. Now you want to tell a person who is reading by a noun, not by a verb. Okay. I could add a pratyaya. So just now we saw bhoktru, same tru we can add to pat. You will get patitru. Patitru means what? The agent of reading. I could also add a different pratyaya and get the word pathaka. Has the same meaning. One who reads. The agent of reading. I could add a different pratyaya and get a word pathat. Pathat means like a present continuous. They call it present participle English. Pathat. Now, all these three have really no difference in gender because a word based on a dhatu. Dhatus are what? Gender neutral. You remember that. Dhatus are all gender neutral. Verbs are gender neutral. Tinganta. We don't have a, lat lakara, masculine, feminine. Fortunately, we don't have that complexity. We only have a lat lakara for a dhatu. Correct? So now, when you make a word like pathaka, patitru, or pathat, these are all valid words. It could also be pathana. You never know. Now, all these words stand for what? The agent of reading, a person who reads. Now the question is, what is the gender of these words? Tricky question. What is the gender of these words? So if you understand that word at this point has no gender, the word which is derived, the Kridanta Pratipadika, has no gender. Look at it that way. Now, when you want to use this pratipadika in a sentence, you have a person in mind. You have something in mind. And that something will have a gender. Correct? So that will determine what gender you want for this word. Are you with me? So therefore, if I'm saying read, one who reads. So if I have Priyanka in mind, I will say it's feminine. Right? If I have Douglas in mind, I will say it's masculine. Swamiji, when does neuter come? We only see this phalam and jnanam in our example. When does neuter become a reader? You know, there's the word kula. Kula means a clan, a family. No, like Kuru, Pandu, they are kulas, right? Vamsha, kula. Now, kula is neuter. The word is neuter. Therefore, if I want to talk of a whole kula of readers, it will be neuter. Understand, the word masculine, feminine, neuter, and agent to object have nothing to do with a sentient entity and insentient entity. Has nothing to do with it. Okay. For example, a sentence may say, the river runs. A river cannot run. River is insentient. Pot stands. Pot is not sentient. It doesn't stand. Don't say that. In the sentence, pot stands, pot is the agent. Okay. In the sentence, river runs, river is the agent. Same way, a kula is also an agent. Collective agent. Right? It is neuter. So now, depending on what you want to do, which word you want to use, the gender will come. And now what should you do? You take this word like pathaka or patitru or patana, etc. And then what do? You decide in which gender you want this word to be used. If you want to use it in masculine, use it as it is, as the pratipadika. You're safe. If you want neuter, use it as it is. You're safe. If you want feminine, you now need to know what should I do to make it a feminine pratipadika. You may not know. You need to know. Generally, I'm giving you a rule of thumb, okay? If it's a consonant ending pratipadika, if it is a consonant ending pratipadika, if it is not ending in nakara, in general, it will remain. There's one more condition which is hard to explain. It will require more knowledge of grammar for me to explain that to you. But I'm saying, let me say it this way. Most halanta words will remain the same in all three genders. Most. One glaring exception will be shatranta. Like the present participle. Pathat will become pathati, pathanti, it will become. So it's a glaring exception. But in general, you will find that if it's a consonant ending pratipadika, and if it can be in multiple genders, now understand, every word cannot be in multiple genders. Some words are derived in such a way that they can have only one gender. Some words can be in two genders. Some can be in all genders. This depends on how the word is formed, for which we need more depth. We don't know, we don't have it. But what should you know? There are words which cannot take multiple genders. They can only be masculine. Some can only be feminine. Some can only be neuter. There is a rule. For example, if you want to say, as I said, the agent of an action, tru, gantru, patitru, kartru, bhoktru, this is for all three genders. Okay? Now, suppose I say karanam, doing, bhavyarth, doing, laughing, hasanam, or eating, khadanam. I'm saying I'm only showing neuter, okay? The pratipadika is khadana, patana, hasana. Don't add the ma and say that is the word. Phalam is not the pratipadika. Phala is the pratipadika. It's akaran, not makaran. Same way, patana, hasana. These are words which mean what? That doing something. Crying, eating, drinking, walking, talking. It's that action is called bhave. So if you are familiar, there is one song, Vadanam Madhuram, Hasitam Madhuram, etc. That's a good example for all such words. They will be neuter. They will be neuter. Hasitam, there is only neuter in that context. Hasanam is neuter. Vadanam is neuter. Pathanam, you cannot make it feminine. That's how the word will be. Then you have a word like gati, movement. Kriti, action. E ending. These can only be feminine. You cannot change it to anything else. These are only in feminine. All right. But there are a whole bunch of words which are in three genders. They are all kridanta, typically, because you add to a dhatu, you add some pratyaya. If the pratyaya allows multiple genders, it will take multiple genders. If it restricts, the pratyaya is restricted, only one gender, it will be that gender. In time, if we keep this class going for length of time, maybe we'll look at these. I don't know. But this is how the organization of pratyayas is. So when you obviously today don't know which one belongs to what class. I don't expect you to know. That's why I said, if you say M, I'll say okay. If you say M or N, I'll say it's okay. If you say A, I will say okay. It's fine. Answer-wise, I'm okay. But what do you need to understand? If you say M or N, that ending letter will be standing firm. If you say A, you better know what will it take to make it a feminine pratipadika. In general, if the pratipadika ends in na, you add E for making feminine. It will work. If the pratipadika is ending in R, there's one exception, okay? If it's ending in R, then to get feminine, you should add E. I told you, bhoktru will become bhoktri. Okay? So there are many rules. But for now, you understand that this is possible. Right? So if you were to look at the dictionary, what will you find? We should look at it once, okay? So let me share my screen and then we will look. Okay. All right. So now, let me move this bar out of here. Okay. So now, here, I want Ashtadhyayi. All right. Okay. In Ashtadhyayi now, let us say, sorry. I first thing is, where should I look for a pratipadika? In this setup, where should I look? You could go here, Shabda Patha. Okay. Here you will only find those pratipadikas which are used in some grammar as an example. They are not limitless. There are a few. Many, but still a few. All right. It is not countless. So you may find, suppose you look right now for kartru. Suppose you look, sorry. Suppose you look for kartru. Now, you may not find anything. It's not there. Kartru is not there. But if I were to look for dhatru, I might, oh, sorry, I have a mistake here. See, I found dhatru. You don't know which one to find. Okay. If you're looking in Ashtadhyayi, you could come here and straight away say, look for that which ends in Rikara. Now you find so many. But if you look for, there are 12 words here with Rikaranta and Ashtadhyayi. If you look for the 13th word, you won't find it. Okay, you won't find it. These are only those for which grammar rules are there, etc. In the grammar books. So don't worry about it. It's not here. Bhoktru is also not here. Then don't waste your time here. What should you do? You go back. Go to the kosha. Kosha is dictionary. Okay. Koshanvesha. When you go there, now you type in kartru. Sorry. Okay. And hit enter. You find what now? Whatever it gives an Abhayankara Vyakarana Kosha, ignore it. This is for grammar dictionary, okay? Ignore it. Now you see this. This is called Vachaspatyam, a huge dictionary. What does it say here? 3. Do you see this 3? This 3 means Trilingi in all genders. In all genders. That's how it will show you. It is not telling you Kartru is the final form for feminine. Understand this. It's fine as a Pratipadika for masculine and neuter. But when it comes to feminine, it will become Kartri. That it's not telling you. This is how it's represented. It will show Trilingi. You come down further. A lot of things he gives here. You come to Apte. Apte dictionary says what? A. What does A mean? A is adjective. A is adjective. All right. What does it mean? Understand. Trilingi. Same. It can take any of 3 genders. Generally. Okay. Come to Monier Williams. What does he say? MFN. So you see, every person has his own convention. Right? MFN, Trilingi, and A. All of 3 mean what? Mean what? The same thing. Means it can take any of the genders. But sometimes they will not take any of the genders. For example, see here now, Kartru. He says creator of the world is only masculine. Okay? Kartru is neuter in the meaning of Vishnu. Something, there are some differences at times. But in general, you go with it. It is masculine, feminine, neuter. This is clear? So this is how you will find it in the dictionary. Look similarly for Bhoktru, you will find. See? Trilingi. Right? A. And if you go further, you will find. See, interestingly, he put M here for whatever reason. He then put 3. What do you mean by 3? F. You see, F means feminine. Feminine will become Bhoktri. He showed you that here. Feminine will become 3. What about neuter? He didn't talk about it. I don't rely completely on any of these because if you understand a pratyaya, you'll be better off. But here it's very clear. Bhuj, A means adjective. Apte is reliable. And so is, Vachaspatya. Very reliable. Monia Williams sometimes goes off a little in my mind. Okay. But what do you catch? You catch the fact that it is an adjective or MFN or this. But suppose now I put the word Kruti. Now what do you find? It says very clearly Strilingaha, right? Vachaspatyam, Stri. Go to Apte, F, feminine. You go to Monier Williams, F, feminine. No one will say anything else. Okay? This is clear? So, if you decide now, I want to look for Bhokta or Karta. Okay? This is the Subanta Pada now. It's not a Pratipadika, mind you. Karta, Kartarau, Kartaraha. You look for it. You may find, but you see, Apte didn't give it to you. Didn't give it to you. And here, what did he say? Pullinga. Linga changed. See, Karta here he gave, in Kalpadruma he gave Strilingi. Now, each dictionary has its own convention until sometimes they change. But what's important is you recognize that if you are looking for a Pratipadika in a dictionary, you better look for a Pratipadika. Don't look for Subantapada. You're treading on dangerous ground. You may not find anything at all. Frustrating. All right. Now, this is one matter. Suppose you're looking for a dhatu. Where will you look? You can look here if you like in the dictionary. You could also look for a dhatu in the dhatus under Ashtadhyaya directly. But suppose you're looking for a dhatu with an upasarga. Upasarga means a prefix. For example, in the second exercise, I gave one, which I said is what? V, and I added some. So I gave.
Vimunchati. Swami,
Vimunchat. Good.
Vimunchati.
Vimunchat. Now, I notice how people have difficulty because, see, I don't recognize when I write the exercise. I create an exercise for you, right? I didn't recognize the difficulty, but somebody probably did this. They look for V. Okay? Because upasarga is the word V, they look for. What did they find? They found it says, you know, V, they were looking up here. You see this separation, disjunction, right? Reverse of an action. Somebody took this meaning and tried to come with a meaning. Munch would be to free. Therefore, munch should be what? Reverse means to bind. They came up with this. Not wrong. Because given your knowledge, you use your common sense well. I appreciate that. Okay. But now, how do you look for a word with dhatu with upasarga? You do this. You say V and dhatu is much. Now you look for it. You will find the result will be to free to wait. So dhatu plus upasarga you can give. Suppose you have V plus ni dhatu. Sorry. Ni. Sorry, I gave ni. That is wrong. I should have given V, ni. Now you see what happens? It gives you a different. Is it dhatu or not here? Yeah, say V plus ni to take away, etc. Right? They'll give you. You may not get your upasarga. Every upasarga you will not find in any book. There's a whole 6-volume book called Upasarga, not Kosha. Upasarga Chandrika. 6 volumes. Yet you go and look for a particular word, you will not find it. This is the story. This is Sanskrit story. Because you can take 20 upasargas in the language and mix and match them in all kinds of ways you like to. There is no rule that you will find a given upasarga or not. All right. But I'm saying, if you want to look, see, the way I'm dealing with this class is I'm saying to all of you, you all should become smart to use what you have in your hands. A way of teaching at a school would be, I will teach you 10 pratyayas and you remember that. That's enough. Don't worry more about it. But right now, we don't have time to say I will learn it later. So I'm saying, how do you equip yourself and empower yourself? That's the approach in this class. How do you look for it? So I'm trying to make you go and find things yourself. And when you do a homework, you'll have to do all this sometimes. Right? So the linga aspect hopefully is now clear. Let me do one thing. Let me share the other one as well. Make sure we are clear with that. So in the second exercise, I use a new convention. Okay. I called it Q. Instead of A, I said Q. All right. Why? Because typically they are qualifiers. They are qualifiers. See, nobody has anything ending running. A can mean adjective. A can mean adverb. A can mean all. So I said, how do I put something where you cannot mistake me? So I found Q is a good word. Q is qualifier. There is no other word beginning with Q. So I can say qualifier, qualified, two things may come. So I'm using it for qualifier. What does it mean now? Here, Isha is a qualifier. Means what? It can be in all 3 genders. But if you look at the word Isha itself, it will only be masculine or neutral. Isha means one who lords over. In feminine, it will become Isha. Therefore, all 3 genders are fine. But here it is like that. Similarly, Shambhu is in all 3 genders. You go look in the dictionary, you will find Trilingi. And if you come and look for, Bhoktru, you will definitely find all 3 genders. Therefore, I wrote this note for you below in the solution. These words are qualifiers and can be in any gender. They are typically Kridanta words. Conventionally, the masculine form is listed and presented as adjective or strilingi. I didn't mention one more, which is what, MFN. Sorry. I can add that also. I can say MFN. This is also a possibility. All right. So any of these will mean what? That it is going to be, that word is legitimate for all three genders. And you will have to create the feminine pratipadika by adding a stri pratyaya. Sometimes they may be none. Okay. Is that clear? So when it comes to the word like tad, etad, feminine, is it different? Pratipadika is exactly the same. It's the same. Tad, etad, idam, they're all consonant ending. I told you, in general, consonant ending words will not change across pratipadika. I mean, across genders. They will remain the same in general. But the way I say it is because I know that those words do not have any operation in the stri pratyaya loop. It's like this, okay? In these factories, in many of the factories, you have a moving conveyor belt, right? Which will have some things moving, and people will be sitting at different locations of the conveyor belt, and everybody will put their part into that if they have to put one, right? So if a person does not want to put a component, then it will move on the belt, it will move. So when do you find a product is complete? When on the production line, on the conveyor belt, no worker has any job to do. No worker has any job to do. All components have been added. Therefore, they have nothing to do. So suppose a component goes through the whole conveyor belt without anybody adding anything, then the product is ready. Correct? The product is ready because everybody thinks I have nothing to do. That's how you should treat stri pratyaya. There are a number of stri pratyayas sitting, okay? They are all waiting on the conveyor belt. And when a word comes, they'll say, should I add myself? No. If everybody decides not to add, then your word remains the same. If one pratyaya decides to get added, then your word will change. Okay? Rule of thumb for you to keep in mind is a noun, a pratipadika ending in a will typically become akaranta. Okay? And most other pratipadikas, if they change, will become ikaranta. This is the basic rule of thumb. Okay? Sarva will become sarva. Gata will become gata. Patitavya will become patitavya, feminine. But kartri will become kartri. R will become ikara. R will take e. R ending. Otherwise, vowels normally will be the same, and if it's a, it will become a. If it's e, feminine also has e ending, there's no problem. But optionally, a feminine e, short e ending may take a long e. Optional possibility is there. Like this, there are rules as to what makes a feminine. We'll look at it again another time. But you understand now what the idea was in deliberately giving an answer for 2-1 slightly differently. I did not just say MF and leave it, MN, because I want to expand your understanding. So when you look at dictionary, you know what it means. Okay. And I also told you how to look at dhatu plus upasarga. Okay. Now, if you come to the second part of the exercise, the second part of the exercise was what? Recognize the verb forms in lat latar. All right. And what did you want to have recognized? What is the dhatu, which prayoga, which purusha, vachana, and the meaning. Right. When it comes to meaning, really, what do you need? You need the meaning of the dhatu. Right? You need to know which prayoga, and you need to know the number and the person. Only then you can write last one correctly. So all these included together, dhatu, prayoga, purusha, if you understood all of them, then the meaning should be right. Correct? So now I think some of you had difficulties because you don't have vocabulary and you don't know where to go looking for the dhatu for this. I have tried to restrict your dhatus only to Shabdarup Manjari so that you don't have to go all over the place. All right. And if you do, then I'm saying you go and look in Ashtadhyaya. If you're looking purely for a dhatu now, how do you look for dhatu for Bhavamaha? How do you look? You should know. I had mentioned it that all these are in first gana, first group of dhatus, right? You go and look and you will find where is Bhavati. Bhavami, Bhavamaha, when you see, you should be able to see Bhavati. You should be able to recognize third person singular. When you see any of these forms in Lat Lakara, you should be able to say what is third person singular form. Can you or not? Anybody will have difficulty? Please raise your hand. So if you recognize third person singular, you go to Shabda Manjari, you will find third person singular form for every dhatu. And then you can quickly land on the dhatu. Once you land on the dhatu, then you know what to do. Okay. So people had a confusion and some difficulty with, still there is some difficulty with respect to this karmani and bhave prayoga. So let me again try to clarify that to all of you. Okay. What does karmani prayoga mean first? Karmani prayoga means the verb has to denote the object of action. Is this clear first? Okay. If the verb has to denote the object of an action, the dhatu, the root, must be a root which takes an object. If it doesn't take an object, how can it denote an object? Can it? Suppose as stand. Stand what? It doesn't have an object. Sleep. Sleep what? Eat. Eat what? There's an object. Eat a bun. Eat a bread. There it's possible. But you cannot have karmani prayoga if dhatu is akarmaka. Is this clear? So for karmani prayoga, a dhatu must take an object. It must be transitive. You ask the question to the dhatu, what? Add what after the dhatu? Read what? Eat what? Stand what? Sit what? If the answer, if it has an answer, it is likely to be sakarmaka. Likely to be. Okay? Not necessary. We will look at some things a little later. So this is the first thing. Once you know it takes an object, it can take karmani prayoga. Is this clear? Okay. Kartari prayoga, every dhatu has to be able to take. No question. What about bhave prayoga? Every dhatu can take. When there is no object. When there is no object. Either the dhatu is akarmaka, means it cannot have an object, or the speaker does not want to specify an object. So speaker can use bhave prayoga even though a dhatu is sakarmaka because he does not want to specify the object. Is this clear? Any doubts you ask now? This is basics. I don't want you to be lost. Okay. Third prayoga is called what? Bhave prayoga. Bhave prayoga, what is the basis? It is neither the agent nor the object which is denoted. Therefore, the number makes no sense. The person makes no sense. For the action there, what's the person? Nothing. Object has a person. Agent has a person. But when you have the bhava, the meaning of the action as what you want to emphasize, where is the person, where is the number? Neither of them is there. But still in the grammar, we can only use tinganta pada. And tinganta pada has to have person and number. Therefore, arbitrarily in the language, what has been done? Third person singular is taken to represent bhave prayoga. It's arbitrary. That's how the language is. It doesn't mean it's third person singular because we're not mentioning any person. Is this clear? Therefore, bhave prayoga, just by looking, if it is not third person singular verb, it cannot be bhave prayoga. Rule out. Okay. It cannot be karmani prayoga if what? If the dhatu is a karma. Cannot be karmani prayoga. Knockout. All right. Now, so this is the basis, the logical basis for kartari karmani bhavya prayoga. Now let us come to the forms. Sanskrit, you always look at it in two ways. Okay. One is the meaning and one is the forms. So what about the forms? Now, if you remember, we saw that anything anta pada is what? Just 1 second. Anything anta pada, we said, is an optional upasarga plus a dhatu plus a vikarana pratyaya plus a thing pratyaya. Do you remember this? Yes. Now, you forget upasarga for now. You all know what? You all know the thing anta is titaha, anti, etc. Correct? Now, this vikarana pratyaya, this fellow, this vikarana pratyaya in karmani prayoga. Okay, in karmani prayoga, it will always be ya. It will be ya. When for lat, sorry, lat. Okay. Lot. Lung. And vidhi. Ling. Okay. In all these 4 lakaras, for any dhatu in the language, what will happen? In karmani prayoga, the vikarana pratyaya will be what? Ya. All right. Secondly, which means what? In the remaining 6 lakaras, there is no ya. Don't worry about it right now. Right now, we're only dealing with lat lakara. Therefore, you're very safe. There must be a ya. Where should the ya come? Right after the dhatu. Okay. And secondly, in both karma and bhava prayoga, bhave prayoga, it will always take what? Atmane pada index. This is the definiteness. They will take, and this is true for all dhatus in all lakaras. No question. Will take Atmane pada index. This much information you have in the form. Okay. So now, when I give you just a word, like I said, what I gave, lab. Lab. Dhatu is lab. Oh, nice. Sometimes it just get messed up. Why? I can't do anything. Okay. Anyway, you understand what I'm trying to do, okay? Right now, let me find something simpler so I can do without that bha. Okay. Let us say I took the dhatu wish. Oh, that has a problem too. Okay, let me take gum. That won't have created a problem. Gum. All right. Gum. Now you will have to add a ya in lat lakar. And what endings will it take? Atmanipada. Gamyate, gamyete, gamyante, gamyase, gamyethe, gamyadve, gamye, gamyavahe, gamyama. If you take lab, what will happen? If you take kartare, it will be labhate, labhete, labhante. No ya. If it's karmani, what will happen? Labh plus ya, you'll get labhya, labhyate, labhyete, labhyante. Is this clear? This changes should be clear. Right? So then, if you come back here now, look, this is labhe. This has got no ya. Still, some people here wrote two. Maybe because they say Atmani Pada, they think it's Karmani Prayoga. Don't have that confusion, okay? If there is no ya in Lat Lakara, guaranteed it cannot be Karmani or Bhavi Prayoga. Cannot be. If it is Karmani, it doesn't mean it's Karmani Bhavi. You have to be cautious. Atmane Pada does not guarantee anything. Atmane Pada only says that it could be Karmani Prayoga because Atmane Pada is a given for all Karmani and Bhavi Prayoga. But you have to see whether other conditions are satisfied. Ideally, we look at a sentence and decide. But here in this exercise, I'm deliberately giving you words to make you know the nuances of the forms so that you become familiar just by seeing the word. What's the probability? Okay. So, labhante, you can see there is no ya. Therefore, it cannot be karmani or bhavi. Right? Now, you come to pathyante. What happened with pathyante? It has a ya. And moreover, pat dhatu is generally what? Parasmayapadi. Pathati, patata, pathanti. As soon as you see atmane pada for a parasmayapadi dhatu, you should know what? It better be a karmani prayoga or bhavi prayoga. And the ya is a clincher. It confirms that for you. But it is plural. Pathyante, third person, plural. Therefore, it cannot be bhave. It has to be what? Only karmani prayoga. And what is the meaning? Are read. I saw some of the people are writing meanings just as dhatu artha, gained, read, etc. That is not right. I want you to know, you write whatever you want. I'm not checking every time, okay? But I want you to understand that you have to include the prayoga. So here I say I gain because person is first person and to gain is the meaning. I gain. That's it. I desire. We all are. You all are. But when it comes to karmani, what happens? Are read. You cannot say is read. Pathyante. Many things are read. Plural. Therefore, are read. Okay. Dakhyate. It is third person singular. Therefore, it could be bhave prayoga. It could also be karmani prayoga. Dakh is a dhatu. Therefore, is burnt. I did not give bhave prayoga meaning. Burning happens, burning is done, etc. You can write. Yes, Bhuma, you have a question? Ask.
Swami, I have a question on mriyate.
I'll come to that. I have seen your question. I'll come to that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So now, see her. She has a question on mriyate. Now, let us understand what is happening with mriyate. Okay. What is the? Okay. Let me pick up a new share. Okay. All right. What happened? Didn't come. Give me 1 second, okay? It's just misbehaving a little at time. Yeah. Okay. Do you see this now? Shabda Manjari. Do you see it? Sorry, Dhatu Manjari. Let's go to sixth Gana. Sixth Gana. Parasne Padinaha first. All right. Are you with me, Huma? You know where I am, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right. Now we are looking for Dhatu Mru. And that Dhatu is sitting here. 23rd Dhatu in the list. See it?
Yes.
Mru Pranatyage. Is this clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now, here's something in parenthesis. What does it say?
Mriya.
Mriya. Mriya. No, Mriya, Mriya. Right? No,
Okay.
no vowel net. And
Okay.
what is this supposed to be? This is the one to which you have to add the endings.
Correct.
All right. Now, when you're doing kartari prayoga, right? What will you add? Te, ite, ante. You'll get
Correct.
mriyate, mriyete, mriyante.
Correct.
Correct?
Correct.
Mru dhatu never is parasmayapadi. So you are saying it's all the same in all of them. There's no parasmayapadi here.
Okay.
Okay? It is only atmanepada.
Correct. Correct.
Kartari prayoga atmanepada. Now, when it comes to karmani prayoga, what will happen?
Mriya Dhatu
No.
doesn't have a karma.
Sorry?
It cannot be a karmani prayoga. It is a karmaka.
Okay. But it can be bhave.
It can be
It
bhav.
can be bhave. All right. Correct? So in bhave, are you okay with kriyate, mriyate?
It should be third person singular.
Mriyate.
Mm.
Bhave, are you okay with that?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Now, therefore, your question now is this. Let me come back. Your question now is,
In Ashtadhyayi.
I know. No, give me a second. I'm coming there. I know your question. I have looked at it. I have looked at almost everybody's answers one by one this time. Just to
Thank
make
you,
sure I know
Swamiji.
what's going on. Okay. To some extent, at least. Now, this is Ashtadhyayi. Okay. So now let's go back to the, okay, we'll go to Mukhya Prashtam. From there, we'll go to Dhatu. Okay. And here you will look for what? Correct?
Yes.
First one is Mring Pranatyaga. Hit the jackpot right away. You go in there. Now you see what? Kartari prayoga is mriyate, mriyate, mriyante. Correct?
Yes.
And now you'll say, Swamiji, bhava karmano, how can it give all these forms? Only
Yes.
mriyate is valid. Understand. This is a mechanical job. And secondly,
Okay.
understand one more thing. When we write a declaration, we write all the forms. Whether you can use it or not, legitimate is up to you to figure out.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, Swamiji.
Just because it has all the forms doesn't mean that they're all valid.
Okay. Okay.
Doesn't mean that. And there is only one form for both bhava and karma.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now, in this particular dhatu, there's no karmani prayoga. But still it says bhava karma. Why does it say bhava karma? Why should not say only bhava?
Correct.
This is how we treat. We treat bhava and karma as one entity for convenience.
Okay, Swamiji.
Okay. There is
Okay.
one more which I'm not getting into, which is called karma kartari, which will also be like this.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But we bunch them. Is that clear?
Okay,
So
Swamiji.
it does not mean that it's available for karmani prayoga.
Okay.
Is that clear? Yes, Deepti, you have a question?
Thank you. Thank you, Swamiji.
Swamiji, in this case, then it will be Kartari and Karmani will be same only, no?
There is no karmani prayoga.
Yeah, I
What is
mean,
this?
Bhave and Kartari,
Huh. Yes.
it will be same
It will be.
conjugation.
Yes, it
No,
will.
there's
But
no difference.
see, mriyate is correct in bhavas, and kartari also mriyate is there. Correct. That is true. That is true. Sixth conjugation, normally it won't happen, but with r ending dhatus, it will happen. In sixth conjugation. In fourth conjugation, the trouble is much more serious. Because every blessed dhatu will appear the same if it's atmanepada. Every atmanepada dhatu in fourth conjugation will appear, the same forms will be there for both kartari, karmani and bhavi. Therefore, that's a much more serious problem. And a lot of people are having trouble with that. I can see that. Okay. All right. So this, I hope you now understand how to identify whether it's kartari, karmani or bhave. Does anybody still have trouble? Ask. If you have trouble, you ask. Basis should be clear. You may not remember when you're doing it. I'm okay with that. You have to work on it and get it further clear in your head. That will take time, its own time. Yes, Bhuma.
Swamiji, there are some verbs for which we said it's dvikarmaka.
Don't worry about them right now.
Okay.
Correct. There are verbs that are called dvikarmaka. I have not mentioned it so far. I will deal with them at a time when it's appropriate.
Okay.
I want you to first be able to walk properly. Then we will try to walk faster and run. Okay. Yes,
Okay.
Priyanka.
Namaste, Swamiji. In
Yeah.
the second exercise,
Yeah.
There's word buddhyase.
Okay. Fair
So,
enough.
in the second prayoga, in the karmani prayoga, it should be something is known by you or you are known.
Fair enough. This is coming from second exercise, correct? Fair enough. Now, let's think about it, right? So, I hope you can conceptualize the word, right? Dhatu is Buddha. Dhatu is Buddha. Fourth gana. Right? Therefore, what is the speciality of fourth gana? Vikarana pratyaya for kartari prayoga is ya. All right. And karmani prayoga, what is vikarana pratyaya for all the ganas in lakara? It is ya. Therefore, vikarana pratyaya being same. Right? And Buddha is what? Atmanipada or Parasmipada? Dhatu itself. Atmanipada. Therefore, kartari prayoga will also say buddhyate, buddhyate, buddhyante. Karmani will also say buddhyate, buddhyate, buddhyate. Now, the question that Priyanka is asking is when you see buddhyase, if it is a karmani prayoga or bhave prayoga, it can be what? It cannot be karmani. Why? Buddhyase. It is not third person singular. Therefore, karmani is knocked out. No. Am I right?
Bhave is knocked out.
No, bhave is not. Correct. Yeah, that's why I thought for a minute. Yeah, bhave is knocked out. So it's karmani. Now the question is, what is the karma of buddhyase? Correct? That's the question really. What is the karma? Now, when you say buddhyase, karma has to be what now? Because if it's karmani prayoga, it has to denote the karma. So what person should it denote? It has to denote second person. Do you understand the problem? Has to denote second person because buddhyase. Say is what? Second person singular, pratyaya. Are you with me? Therefore, in karmani prayoga, when you say buddhyase, what should be known? Only you should be known. It cannot be something else to be known. You are the only you, singular, has to be known. Normally, so this is purely we are playing with words. Normally, you will not find too many karmani prayoga words in second or first case, first person. You will find them all third person. Normally, you will hardly find first person or second person in karmani prayoga. This is purely for you to understand conceptually what's happening and give this exercise. Is that clear? All right. Yes, Santosh.
Swamiji, it means like Buddhyase in karmani means you as the object is being known, and in kartari it means you as the karta is being known. Is it like that?
Okay, if buddhyase was the word, if it's kartari prayoga, it means you know. You know.
As a karta.
If it's karmani prayoga, you are known.
You are.
You are known. You see the difference? One is object, one is agent.
Yeah.
Is that clear?
Thank you.
Boom, are you okay? You're saying something without unmuting.
No, Swamiji, I'm okay. But I had made a mistake. I had not known
That's
by
okay.
you.
That's okay. No, I'm saying, see, that's why I'm not taking individual case and looking at it, but I'm just giving you the meaning clearly. You understand? Because this kartari karmani bhave prayoga, if you understand well, you will find later your language will be in a good firm footing. Otherwise, you'll always be shaky. You won't know which way to go.
Yes.
I've seen this for a lot of time. Therefore, I'm stressing on this to make sure you don't mess this up. You get this straightened out, we'll straighten out other things in time. It's easier.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So then let's go back now to the Dhatu Manjari for a minute. Okay. So here in the fourth gana, as I told you, the problem is what? Wherever you have, see, this is now Parasmay Pada. If it's Parasmay Pada, in Kartari Prayoga, you'll have Titahanti, right? And in Karmani, you'll have Atmanepada endings. You're okay. All right. But if you come down to the Atmanepada endings, sorry. Yeah, here, right? Klish, Khid, right? And then Jan, Deep, do all these are what? They are Atmanepada. And in Karmani, what will it be again? Atmanepada. In Kartari, what is Vikarna Pratyaya? Yeah. In Karmani, what is it? Yeah. What will you form? Same forms. All the way. If you go and look in Dhatu part in the Dhatu, sorry, Ashtadhyayi, Kartari Karmani will be identical for Atmanepada for all of four Karna. Now, when you see those words in our exercise, you have to be able to know whether it can take Kartari. Everybody can take Kartari, you should know that in general. Whether it can be Karmani or Bhave or both, you have to see. For that, what should you see? You should see whether Dhatu is a Karmaka or Sakarmaka. Right? And you should see whether it's third person singular or not. Then only you can answer those questions properly. Okay? Another thing important in this fourth Gana, which I want you to take note of, which is not clear from any class or exercise so far, is this. Yeah. Okay. Say, for example, now, kup, to be angry. Right? Kupyati, that's all right. Let's leave that alone. Tush, take tush, to be pleased. To be pleased. Tushyati. What is the meaning of tushyati? Anybody want to tell me the meaning of tushyati? Anyone?
Content.
Huh? No, I want the
Content.
meaning of, see, tushyati, the whole word should give me meaning. Like if I say patati, it means he reads, like that.
He is content. He or she is.
He is content, correct. He is content. Now, the point is this. See, if I say read, he reads, but he is content. You see the change in the tone now? It's as though the dhatu has got an ingrained karmani effect, as though. He is content. She is content. That's how it will come. Right? Tushyati. Similarly, you see, trip, same thing, tripyati. He is pleased. You cannot say he pleases. He contents somebody else. No, he is pleased. If he pleases somebody else, you have to make it a causative usage. He causes somebody else to be pleased. It will be a different dhatu. Tarpayati, not tripyati. Okay. Then you have, nash. Nash means what? Adarshan, it disappear. What does nashyati mean? It disappears. Right? It disappears. Not it makes something disappear. Nashyati. Right? Similarly, you have a word like, see, this print is very poor, unfortunately. Mad, madhyati. Is intoxicated, is pleased. That kind of meaning will come. Then you have a few things here, like shram will become shramyati. There's an extension. Shramyati means he tires, she tires. You can't say he makes something tired. So you should be observant of these fourth kana, several dhatus like this, which have a meaning which seems to imply oneself. Okay, and you should notice that many of them are akarmaka. Klish, for example, you had klish, right? Is it sakarmaka or akarmaka? Unfortunately, in dhatu rup manjari, he doesn't tell you sakarmaka akar. Doesn't tell you that. So what should you do? If you need to, you go and you find the. Am I sharing this with you? Are you seeing the Ashtadhyayi or not yet? You are seeing it? Ashtadhyayi? No. Let me stop and restart my share. Give me a second. Okay. So now here, for example, if I say, what is the word I just mentioned? Okay. I'll go with it. Trish. See, Now, triptau. So if you come to this Ashtadhyayi, you will find triptau, tudadi, parasmaipadi, sakarmaka, right? So like this, you will be able to see whether something is sakarmaka or akarmaka, whether it's parasmai, whether it is sakarmaka or akarmaka. This is one thing you will not find in your dhatu manjari. Okay, and one dhatu can be in multiple ganas. So if, for example, if I said with, you will find how many now? With 5 with you will find. Which one? So some of you have had trouble with this too. I could see that. Some of you have given meaning from another gana. But in the exercise, I said I am restricting it to 4th gana and 6th gana only. Therefore, you have to stay with that restriction. Okay. Otherwise, the meaning that I give you will be different from the meaning you have. All right. So that's about the recognizing forms of verbs. Is that clear? I'm not taken one by one, but I hope the general idea is clear to all of you. All right. Oh, already 7:15. Okay. I thought I would do better than this, but it's okay. Now let's go back to the exercise. So I'm assuming all these are clear now. Now you should work on it and see if you still have a question. Gomati, you have a question?
Yes, Swamiji, on that exercise, sna also you have given. Sna is second conjugation.
Okay. I may have made a mistake. It's possible.
Then snati it is coming.
Have I given sna?
Yeah.
In second exercise or first exercise?
Second exercise. Today,
Okay.
today you said no, that one.
Okay, I don't know. I may have given possible. Sometimes my mind may not get it. It's possible. Okay.
But snati is correct.
Yeah, you can check which gana it belongs to. It's fine. I mean, which it's fine. I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yep. All right. Now, this part, the Subanta Pada, recognizing it, I think most of you, Gomati, your hand is still up. Please put it down.
Yeah. Just,
okay. So, Ganeshan, please mute everybody, then let them unmute themselves again if they need to. All right. Now, in this part, identifying noun, most of you, I think, have done well. But, some people have had difficulty, even I missed, for example, phale. I did not include the, I think, 82 or 71. 82 probably I missed out probably. So something like this get missed, okay? But you have to be aware, the reason for this exercise is just so you know what all a word can mean. Otherwise, when you make a translation, if you don't know the possibilities, you will take one and will mess up. Therefore, most of you have done well, and I'm not going to get into these words unless somebody has a question. If you have a question, you can raise your hand. Otherwise, I'm assuming this is simple enough. Most of you have understood it well. I found one interesting thing that this, where is it now? Just 1 second, okay? Ramayoho. There was one very interesting thing I found, that let us say now you have what's that now? Was it Harayoho? Douglas, you had put something, I don't remember exactly which one it was, but you made another possibility of if Pratipadika is Rama. Did you do that, Douglas?
Is it number 20?
Was it number 20? Ramayoho. What did you say for this?
Ramayoho. Masculine 62-72.
Correct. Did you say something more?
If I did,
Pratipadika is Rama or something like that?
I was confused between Rama and Rama, so.
Okay, all right. No, because I thought I saw something interesting in one of your solutions. I don't remember which one offhand. But say, for example, if you were doing Rama Shabda, how would it decline? Rama, Rame, Ramaha, right? In 6th case, what will it be?
Rama, Ramayoho.
Ramayo, correct? Now, suppose the word is Ramayo, right? I think that's what happened. I think in your exercise it said Ramayo instead of Ramayo. That's something like that happened. Okay. Ramayo. Now, if Ramayoho is the word, can it be masculine 6-2 or not? It can, if Rama is a pratipadika. We don't have a pratipadika like Rama. Rama, not Rama, Rama. Then Ramayoho would be okay. So, if you come purely with endings, Ramayoho could also be in masculine 6-2, it's possible. I can appreciate that. But we have to know whether the pratipadikam which we say Rama, is that a valid pratipadikam or not? We have to know. All right. So that's one more observation I want to make. Otherwise, I'm saying be cautious when you look at the words, especially with things like this, Rama. The he, re, etc. may not be there. Like Ramaha can just mean 83, which means vocative. So you should be aware of that. If you are not, you'll be looking for 1-3 or 2-3, it may not fit at all. So be aware, vocative is also a potential use, and there is no re and he sitting there when you have sentences. Okay. All right. Anything else on these words? Both exercise 1 and 2, I don't think I have anything much to say here. Okay. This is all that is to be said. A lot of alternative forms for Sarvanama, but other than that, there's no problem. Yes, Ravindranath, unmute yourself, please.
This we have done the homework in the book, Swami. Can we take a photo and load it, or
you could? Yeah, you could. See, I am not going to look at everybody's homework, and if it's easy for me to see, I will see it. If it's like paper written, one way this, one that way, I cannot look at all of them. I'm looking at it just to see. You can upload. Correct. It's possible. Answer is yes.
The first one only, Swami. Second one, we have got the link.
No, you can do it. You can upload. If you upload your solution, you will get an answer in the email. You can do that. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay. Now let us come to translating into Sanskrit. Okay. We have reached 7:20 now. We'll see what we can do.
7:20.
Please mute yourself. Okay. Now, see, I am. Most of you got it right. Aham asmi. Some of you just said asmi. That is also okay because aham is implied in asmi. No problem. All right. I gave you 2 more possibilities. Bhavami, varte. But asmi is a better choice in general problems because bhavami can also mean become. I become. Let's not get there. You are, Tomasi. Most of you are right. Ramaha asti is fine. Who are you? Now, when I say who are you, Tvam kaha asi. Now, some people here wrote Tvam kaha asti. And there is a reasonable thinking there, okay? Kaha is sitting in what? In 3rd person. Tvam is 2nd person. How do you handle a situation where 1st person is mixed with 3rd person or 2nd person? This is a problem. I honestly did not think of this when I gave the exercise. Otherwise, I would not have put them in. I cooked up something, seemed interesting to cook up, I cooked it up. Then only I realized the trouble with it. When I tried to solve it, I realized, oh, there's a possibility of confusion here. All right. So I'm still looking for a definitive rule on how these should be handled. Okay. I haven't found a definitive rule. But what I find convention seems to be that if you have a 1st person and a 2nd person noun, see, 3 nouns are possible. 1st person, 2nd person, 3rd person. If all 3 are there, you won't find a sentence normally. You take 1st person for the verb. If 1 and 2 are there, take first person. If 1 and 3 is there, take first person. Okay. Basically, first person gets priority. All right. If second and third are there, second person gets priority. So only when you have no first or second person noun, you will go with third person verb. Okay. This seems to be a convention which I have observed. Like we say, tat tvam asi. Why not tat tvam asti? Could be. Aham brahma asti. Why not? Aham brahma asmi. Right? So based on what I'm observing, I'm telling you, I'm still looking, and I feel it is possible that tvam kaha asti may also be correct. It may not be wrong. I don't want to say it is wrong at this point in time, but I would prefer that you say tvam kaha asti. Okay. Yes, Deepti.
For Swamiji, this who are you? Is it we can just say kahatvam?
Correct. Kahatvam. Now you have said kahatvam, but now the point is, I suppose I tell you, please tell me what you think on the pada implied. Asti or asi? Kahatvam is good. It's good. It solves the problem in a way very nicely, but it has an unstated verb underlying. There is no sentence without that. Therefore, you ask me, which is that, Swamiji? I am still in the same problem. Okay. Kahatvam asti or kahatvam asi? Right. But I'm saying in general, I would go with tvam is there, therefore with asi. If tvam was not there and aham was not there, then you go with third person verbs. Okay. That's the convention I'm giving you right now. And if I find something more interesting about it or more like proper, I will inform you all about it. Yes, Santosh.
Swamiji, this who are you? So
Yeah.
can we also take it this you as the respected you? Like I have written Bhavan kaha asti or Tvam kaha asi. I have like written both.
Okay. Fair enough. See, what you're bringing in is this. See, in this exercise, I don't intend for you to bring in Bhavan. Okay. I don't intend for you to bring Bhavan. Use Tvam. But respectably, it will be third person. Bhavan kaha asti is correct. Agreed. Okay. Harsha.
Swamiji, in the fourth and fifth questions, there is again I and you mixed together.
I'll come there. I just first gave you general rule. Okay. We'll go back now. General rule, is it clear? I'm saying convention I'm following for giving you the answers is if there is first person, I will use verb in first person. If there is no first person and second is there, I use second person. Only if first and second are missing, I use third person verb. That's the convention I'm trying to follow. All right. Okay. So if you have used third person verb, I'm not saying it is wrong. I'm still trying to verify whether it's a legitimate usage or not. Okay. All right. Now let me go back.
Swamiji.
Yes.
Swamiji, 1 second. Tvam kaha asi. In that, the emphasis is on tvam, and therefore asi. Can we interpret like that? I want to know who are you.
See, that is what I said. Look, I told you it may be possible because in general, vivaksha, what do you want to say? And based on it, we will say it correctly.
Yeah.
But suppose your emphasis on tvam, can you say tvam kaha asti? That's the question I have not answered. Okay. Tvam kaha asti is seen in the Shastra. Kosi. If you look at Kenopanishad, Kosi. Agnirva hamasmi. Very clearly it is there. Right? But whether tvam kaha asti, is it correct or not? I need to check. All right? That's all I said. But if vivaksha, if the speaker wants to emphasize kaha, then probably asti is okay. Because suppose there's somebody at the door. I say kaha asti. It's fair. It's legitimate. Then I say aham asmi. Fair enough. It's possible. Just kaha would say kaha asti. But if I say kaha tvam, then the question is, can I say asti or should I say asti only?
No, but in this sentence, who are you? I think
I answered you, and I will only have to repeat what I said to you.
Yeah.
You are saying, who are you? But I'm saying when I write, how can I say you? Right? Understand what's the difficulty? It's the vivaksha. If you are saying who are you, I'll say, who are you? Then what? Then asti is okay. That's the question we are looking at. It may be possible to say asti or asi. We will look into it if I find a better answer. If not, we will stay with second person will override third person. Okay.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Yeah. All right. So now, so I said, see, here now I use asmi. Aham, tvam, asmi. Why? Because first person is available. I use asmi, okay? And moreover, see, the way it will work is this. What is the basic sentence? I'll say aham asmi. Basic sentence, aham asmi. Verb is given, asmi. Only one verb is there. Asmi is the verb, right? Therefore, rather, to start with English, I am you, right? I am. This sentence is very clear. You won't make a sentence. You am won't make a sentence. I am alone is a sentence. In English, you have that convenience. When you say I am, sentence is what? Aham asmi. That is clear. Now what should you bring in? You just bring in tvam. Okay. Next one is what? You are. You are. You cannot say you, me. You cannot say are, me. Me are. You are alone is a sentence. So tvam asi is a sentence. Then what do? You just supply the remaining, which is what? Aham. Okay. So though there were both, I took it as asi. Why? Because I said sentence is you are. So the vivaksha is clearly to say you are. Therefore, tvam asi. I will verify how this works, because the way the grammar rules are given is they normally address situation where if you say, you know, two nouns have an and. Like, for example, you and he go to town. Then what I told you will work for sure. The rule is first person will take precedence. I mean, second person will take precedence. First, second, third in that order. But if you say you or he get me a glass of water. Now, if I say the verb, whichever it is closer to, if it is closer to you in the Sanskrit sentence, it will take second person. If it is closer to third person noun, it will take third person verb. This is the rule of the grammar. Okay. So if it is or and, there are rules clearly in the grammar. But if it is samanadhikaranyam, the rule is not given clearly. Therefore, I have to go with vivaksha, right? Okay. Then, who are you? Kaha tvam kaha asi. Or if it's feminine, ka. Just to give you a possibility. I am a human being. Aham naraha asmi. Yes, Uma. Please unmute yourself. Speak. I don't hear you still. You are unmuted. He'll come back. Okay. While we wait for him. So, I am a human being. Aham naraha asmi. Now, this one I just added, you know, I am different. So that you can use fifth case in sense of difference. Okay. That is only purpose. So here you have a collective noun sarva. You have a collective noun sarva. Therefore, it is better to use, and jiva is not a collective noun. It's a single one. Therefore, if you want to use sarva, you have to use jiva and plural. So sarvebhyaha, it becomes. Otherwise, sarvasmat would be okay. But since there's a collective noun and you know, non-collective noun, if you want to use plural in both. Makes no difference for sarva, but makes a difference for jiva. I cannot say sarvasmat jivat. It won't make sense. I have to say sarvasmat jivebhyaha, which won't look nice. So sarvebhyaha jivebhyaha bhinnaha. Bhinna, I don't know. The first version, maybe I didn't give it. Some people had difficulty. And you could also use a word like anyaha, prithak, etc. Okay, these are possibilities. Asmi is implied because aham is ring. All right. Human being is you. What did I say? Naraha tvam asi. Tvam asi. What are you? Naraha. Right? You are not a human being. See, my idea was to play with Vedanta a little here. Okay. Therefore, I said, human being is you, but you are not just a human being. That's my intention. Okay. Therefore, I said, Tvam naraha eva nasi. Naraha tvam asi, but you are not just a human being. You are more than that. That's the implied meaning I'm trying to give. It was not necessary for Sanskrit exercise, but I was just playing with it with you. All right. Then, who am I? This is our basic question. Kaha or ka ahamasmi. Yes, Deepti.
Swamiji, this is regarding Naraha Tvam. I had the same doubt. Naraha Tvam Asti?
As I said to you, when you say Naraha Asti, then I can add Asi. I just told you the whole story, right? You have two persons here. Naraha is third person.
Human being. And
Tvam is second person. Okay? And if I look at the English sentence, human being is you. Correct? So you took human being is being prominent here. Fair enough.
Yes.
And therefore you're saying human being asti. Human being, is. Therefore human being asti. Then you're saying you, tvam. Naraha tvam asti. Possibility. It may be right with that vivaksha. I still need to double check this. I have not found a definitive answer on this in any searches I have looked for so far. Okay. I'm not saying you're wrong, but what I have written is not wrong also. That I'm sure.
No, can we just take away that Asti and Asmi and it is Naraha
You
Tvam?
can. You're
Tvam
right.
Naraha
So
Na.
you're just saying, just take this away. Correct. There'll be no controversy. It'll be clean. But the only thing I'm saying is, from the perspective of grammar, I want to be clear about what is right here. Okay. But you're right in saying you can take it away. But if I ask you one more step, as I just mentioned 5 minutes ago, if I ask you what is the implied verb, you'll be in trouble. Same question is coming back one more time, which means the answer is not clear. I'm saying you can take it away, but I can always ask you what is the implied verb. You have to answer it. Is that clear? Or still unclear? Not clear?
No, the implied for this dhatu will be us only.
Dhatu is also clear, but whether it's asi or asti, that's the question. If I ask you, tell me what is the verb, what will you say? You have to say one thing. And that is where we
If
are.
the emphasis is on human being, then we will put Asti.
I already mentioned this, right?
Yeah.
That I don't have a clear rule for this. I'm looking. All right. If I find one, I'll share with you. If not, I'm saying for now, you can go with the emphasis aspect, or you can go with the fact that second person is there, therefore use second person. Okay. All right. Then, who am I? Straight enough, right? Then you are a form. I just meant to say rupa. Somebody use swarupa, okay? This is a little overreach. Don't use swarupa when I say rupa. It's not a good idea. Swarupa means one's own nature, truth, not necessary here. Now again, you are a form of Ishvara. I'm saying Tvam Ishvarasya Rupam Asi. Somebody wrote Asti. Asti will not work. Asti will not work. Okay, because you are a form is clear. There's no question. And Ishvara says sixth case. I hope you got it right. And now the question is, what case is Rupam? This somebody should answer correctly. Is it 2-1 or 1-1? Both are okay. You won't know, but it may be a lucky guess. I want to know which one is it. Rupam is second case or first case? Deepti.
It's 1-1.
1-1. Why? Correct. Why?
Tvam is 1-1. Tvam, because of Tvam.
Because of Tvam? No, that's not right answer.
No. Tvam Ishvarasya Rupam Asi.
So why should Rupam be, why not 2-1? Rupam is an object.
Rupam is not an object.
Why is it not an object? Correct. It's not an object. Why is it not an object? Object of what? Object is always object of what?
Verb, related to verb.
What is the verb here?
Asi.
Asi.
As dhatu. Is it sakarmaka or akarmaka?
It is akarmaka. So
Therefore,
it cannot be object.
That's the way you should understand it, okay? Don't say because it's a thumb. Then you're guessing your way out. Won't work.
Okay.
All right? Okay. Be clear. See, whenever you see an akarmaka dhatu, be clear that whether it is neuter or, see, neuter words only have a problem because the forms are same for first and second case. Be clear that an akarmaka dhatu cannot take an object. That old thinking that you have, everything to take an object, drop it. Okay? Rupa hasti means Rupa is the agent. right? Tvam is the agent here. Tvam asi. What are you? Subjective complement. Tvam rupam asi. You are a form of what? Ishvara. Okay. Yes, Ravindranath. Please unmute yourself.
Swamiji, Pranam Swamiji. When
Okay.
this Rupa is coming,
Yeah.
it should go into the
Hey,
case
please.
3, right?
Sorry.
Case, third case.
Third case for what? I'm sorry.
When Rupa is coming,
Yeah.
you have to go with the case 3 like that.
For what?
Third case,
For what reason?
Rupena,
Why?
or a form of Ishvara.
Why Rupena? You tell me. Asi is the verb.
Huh.
Why Rupena? You tell me.
Asi is the word. Okay.
Why are you saying Rupena? Third case for what? What meaning? Is it a Karana?
So I took that Rupa.
That's okay. But why Rupena?
In that one of that Michika's book, I saw that
No, no.
Rupena.
Look, don't go beyond the class that we are talking. You don't bring Michika's book here or anybody else's book, okay? There will be legitimate context for it. You're confusing the matter, okay?
Okay.
Suppose I say you are in the form of a cow or something, then it could come in that form, okay? There are situations where it comes, but in this context, it's not applicable.
Okay, Swamiji. Okay, sir.
Yeah, please mute yourself back. Okay. Then, what is Ishvara? Now, Ishvara kaha. I have deliberately put this so you know what is implied here, okay? Asti. Then, Ishvara is the Karana of the Jagat. So, a lot of people here took the word Jagat as Akaranta and made it Jagatasya. That is not right because Jagat is Takaranta. It's a consonant ending noun. Therefore, it will decline like Marut. It will become Jagataha and not Jagatasya. Okay. And here, the idea was just to make you familiar with the use of an avyaya punaha, kaha, punaha, ishvaraha. Some people have said asi here. I don't know why. You should know when ishvaraha is there, kaha is there, verb has to be asti. It cannot be asi. Yes, Niru.
Swamiji, in Ishvara is the Jagat Karanam. So there's a Hetu here, cause. So can we use third case here?
No. See, okay, I understand your question. So how would you say it?
I had written Ishvarena Jagat Karanam Asti.
Okay, look, what happens is this. When I say cause, you are saying cause of something, not just the word cause. Okay. Now here, Ishvara is Ishvara Asti. Right? Now, what is he? He is the cause. Right? Now, the cause is going along Ishvara, and the dhatu is as. Therefore, it's being akarmaka, it cannot take an object. So cause has to go as first case here.
Okay.
Okay. So it will become karanam. Neuter. 1-1. Now, you know when you would say cause, suppose I say, due to Ishvara is this world. Due to Ishvara, on account of Ishvara, this world is. Suppose I said. Now you will say the world is Jagatasti. Due to Ishvara. Ishvara is not the agent there. Ishvara is the cause. Then you will say what? Ishvarena. Ishvarat. Jagat asti. That's how the cause will. Is that clear?
Okay. Because Karanam is there, so we are not using the.
I mean, see, you have to first try to make a sentence. This karana, etc., the hetu, etc., is extra. It's not karaka. It's an extra construct. If you need, you bring in. Otherwise, don't bring it.
Okay.
First, try the basic karakas first. Yes, Manjula, you have a question? Unmute yourself, please. Yeah.
No, can't we say Kim Punaha Ishvaraha instead of Kaha Punaha?
Fair. So now you're going to Kim Punaha Ishvaraha. Now, the reason why I'm saying Kim is possible, but Ishvaraha is masculine.
That's true. Yeah. I know
Therefore, I prefer to use Ka. Okay? But Kim is not wrong.
Because even in what is Ishvara,
Yeah.
Ishvara Hakim. I don't know.
See, if you knew Ishvara is the word masculine,
yeah, correct.
then you can say Ka. If you don't know, neuter is okay.
Okay.
So, Kimidam Yakshaha. Upanishad says, Kimidam Yakshaha. That Kim is okay. Right? It also is an avyaya. We'll pass. But I'm saying, here my purpose of giving you these is to make sure you match the gender of the
with the correct. Right. I understand. Thank you.
Yes, Geeta.
Swamiji.
Geeta, go ahead.
Swamiji.
Yeah, go ahead.
15th, idam sarvah ishwarah asti, I have written.
Okay. Idam.
But you are saying sarvam.
One second. Okay. 1 second. Okay. 1 second. You may have caught me here. Give me a second. All this is Ishvara. Okay. See, the point is, you know what? I'll tell you what I've done. All this, right? All this I said. See, when you don't know anything, you want to cover everything, then you use neuter gender. All right? Therefore, I said idam sarvam. Once you have that, on this side, Ishvara's gender is fixed. Ishvara cannot become.
It is taken as a adjective sarvam, and then make it same like Ishvara.
So you say your sentence again.
No?
Say your sentence again.
I said sarvaha Ishvara means adjective like means same.
No, say your sentence, please. Sarvaha Ishvaraha asti. Okay. Sarvaha Ishvara. So you are saying, then what will you say with Sarvaha? You will say I am, is it?
No. Idam sarvaha Ishvara.
No, idam won't work. Then you say I am, because you have to go with masculine there. Sarvaha Ishvara asti is okay. It's not wrong. Okay. But my purpose of using idam is, see, the neuter is generally a catch-all. Okay. And if you look at Shruti, we'll always say idam sarvam yadidam brahma. That idam you will find normally. That's how Shruti is. And I'm trying to tune you to the way Shruti and the Shastra start. That's another reason why I'm using idam. Okay. But sarvaha ishvaraha asti is okay. It's not wrong.
In place of Ishvara, Devaha also we can use.
I think I gave you the word Ishvara, and I expect you will use the same.
Okay.
Okay. But if you prefer to use Deva, it's okay. That's your choice. No, pratipadikas. If I didn't give a choice, you can use one. You're okay. All right. You could say Parameshwara also. A lot of possibilities are there. Bhagavan, you could say. So it's all right. Any of them is okay. Then Jagat is born of Ishvara. So here, two things. One is fifth case for Ishvara. Jagat should be in the first case. And in the verb, you have two choices. Jayate. And in the second one, I don't know, some people wrote Prabhuyate. That's not a good idea, because I clearly say pra plus bhu is parasmepadi. So it will become Prabhavati. Prabhavati. Okay. So what is this Jagat? Sorry. Yeah. What is Jagat? Jagat kim asti. Why? Simply I want to make Jagat is neuter, so you better use neuter. Right? Everything which is seen by you, that is Jagat. So what is that now? So sarvam, this yat, see, this which, you have which and that. Right? So the which has to be yat and that has to be tat. Right? So yat tat has to come. And in this case, both happen to be in nominative singular. First, prathama vibhakti, neuter. Therefore, yad drishyate, which is seen. Therefore, karmani prayoga. Jagat yad tvaya drishyate. All, everything. Therefore, I use sarvam. Yad sarvam drishyate. And the seer has to be put in third case because karmani prayoga. Therefore, tvaya. Tat, that is jagat. Defining jagat.
Tad Jagat. Tad
Gita,
Jagat.
you can mute yourself unless you're asking something. Okay. Anything else? Yes, Neeru. Please unmute yourself.
Sorry, yeah. Swamiji, I had written Tat Jagat Bhuyate in the end. Is that correct?
No, bhuyate would be wrong.
Bhuyate.
Why? Let's understand. Dhatu is bhu, right? Why did you say bhuyate?
Yes, that is Jagat.
No, no, but for that is jagat, why bhuyate? Asti is enough, right? Why bhuyate? Why are you using karmani prayoga?
But can we say Tat Jagat Asti? Because we are
That's
using.
correct. That's okay.
Tad
See, in
Jagat.
fact, I could easily write asti here. There is no problem.
So can there be Drishyate and Asti both forms of word in one sentence?
Absolutely. Because see, yat drishyate. Yad drishyate tadasti. No problem. In fact, see, we haven't seen yattad in too much of length, but this yat could be, it could be seventh case, could be fifth case, could be fourth case. Case can also change. A lot of things can change. What you need is a relative and a correlative. That which your correlative. Suppose I say the one who is the king is the one who is sweeping the road, right? The one who rules is the one who is here. You can make a lot of possibilities. Okay, the one who eats puris is the one who is eating mangoes now. I can say anything, right? Yat and tat correlation has to come. There will be one form of yat and one form of tat. Exactly how they will correlate is open. And in fact, instead of tat, you can have etat, you can have idam. All that possibility also exists.
Okay, okay, sir.
Only thing is, if you say bhuyate, I will ask you karmani prayoga. What is the karma which you are denoting? So you say jagat bhuyate, correct?
Bhuyate.
Which means what? Let's look at it. Let's examine it. Okay, bhuyate means what? Now, bhuyate, you cannot have karmani prayoga. Why? Because it is a karma. You have to have bhave prayoga, which means you are not talking of jagat anymore. You're just talking of bhuyate, which is not our sentence. So multiple reasons why you cannot use bhuyate. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Fair enough.
Yes. Thank you, Swami.
Yes. Sampath.
Here, I just want to understand. Yet sarvam tvaya, I wrote it as drishya se. Because seen by you, I thought like it's a second person ekvachanam. So I wrote it as drishya se instead of drishyate.
Instead of drishyate, what did you write?
Drishya se.
No, I'm hearing drishyate only.
Drishya se. 2-1.
Huh? Drishya se you wrote. Why?
Seen by you.
Oh, seen by you. Okay. You know what? Look, if I say you see the world, you see the world, it would be jagat drishyase. Tvam jagat drishyase. There jagat is 2-1.
Okay.
Okay. Now jagat is 1-1. I mean, there is no jagat here. Yad tvaya. Yad is what? 1-1.
Okay.
Sarvam yat is both 1-1.
Okay.
Because my sentence is seen by you. Therefore, bhave prayoga, karmani prayoga has to come. Is seen by you. Therefore, I said drishyate. Once you get drishyate, yat and sarvam has to be in first case. Because it is bhavya karmani prayoga. Okay. Drishyate is karmani prayoga because of this sentence. Is seen. Okay. Once I fix drishyate, then what is seen goes in prathama vibhakti, first case. Therefore, yat sarvam is prathama vibhakti. And then the agent goes in what case in karmani prayoga?
Third.
Third. Therefore, tvaya, yushmat shabda. Okay. So when you see drishya say you wrote, it basically you didn't see it as is seen. You say sees, you see. You made it you see. It's not is seen, you see. That is seen is meant to make you use karmani prayoga or bhavya prayoga. Okay.
Even in karmani prayoga, drishya say is also possible or not?
Drishya say is possible or not? It is possible. But then drishya say will be what? It will be you. Only you, because drishya is a second person. You are seen. Nothing else will work.
Okay.
World cannot be seen.
Okay.
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 Yes, Santosh.
Swamiji, in the question, I am you. So aham asmi. Like, what is you? I couldn't understand. It's neither the karta nor it's
No,
the
in
karma.
which one? Sorry, which?
I am you. I think it's the third or fourth. Yeah, here. Fourth one. I am you. Aham asmi.
Yeah.
So okay, the karta is there, the kriya is there. So like you, what is this you? It's not fitting in any case. But
Hey,
it's just
what do you mean? No, 1 second. Why it's not fitting? See, suppose I said, this is a pot. Suppose I said, this is a pot. This and pot are in the same case or not?
This is a pot.
This is a pot. Pot is what case?
Pot is 1-1.
1-1. What is this?
It's also 1-1.
1-1. Same here. Aham is also 1-1. Tvam is also 1-1. What's the problem? Suppose I say, Tvam Bhagavan Asi. Then you're happy with that, no? 1-1. Tat Tvam Asi. Bhagavan Tvam Asi. Same thing. This is Samanadhikaran. Because we have so many Mahavakyas, I'm playing with Samanadhikaran. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. All right. Anything else? Anybody?
Swamiji, I want to ask one.
Yeah.
In the eighth sentence.
Yeah.
Swamiji, in the eighth sentence, you have given binna.
1 second. The eighth sentence.
Eighth sentence. You have given binna, correct? Then I have used aham bhinnaha sarvasmat itara jivanam asmi, like that I have
See,
written.
look. Aham bhinnaha sarvasmat itara jivanam. Why did you bring sixth case for jiva? You tell me that. How did you get jivanam? What's the basis? That's wrong. It won't work. Jivebhyaha only has to come. Jivanam won't work.
And bhinnaha anyebhyaha.
Anyebhyaha is fine. Anyebhyaha is fine.
Bhinnaha is also all right.
Bhinna is also all right.
All right. Yeah.
See, here you see this. I've given bhinnaha, anyaha, prithak. There could be more words.
Okay.
No trouble. All are okay. But jivanam won't work.
I don't know why I write.
Yeah, you think about
Other living beings.
That's okay. But you have to make sure what all should be in Samanadhikaranyam. Sarva and Jiva has to be in Samanadhikaranyam. Anya has to be in Samanadhikaranyam. Therefore, Anyebhyaha, Sarvebhyaha, Jivebhyaha. All three in Samanadhikaranyam.
Jivebhyaha, like that, right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Any other questions? We didn't cover any new ground, but I think we should have firmed up the old ground better. Yes, Neeru?
Swamiji, in the first exercise, regarding guru, that can be neuter also? Guru means heavy also?
Yes, it could be. It could be. Correct. Agreed with you. See, I did not, I probably marked as masculine and left it. I didn't mark it MNN. Correct. It's possible. Neuter is also possible.
Okay.
See,
Thank you,
many
sir.
a time, many of you think and you think correctly. But when I'm thinking of an answer, I have something on my eyes, which means I have some view. And therefore I put an answer, but that's not the only right answer. So I welcome any observations like this, because that way the answers will be more pakka. I discovered that, I'll have to give an answer again after everybody receives an answer, because I'll have to correct all mistakes and give it again sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay, but it can happen. So you're right. Guru means heavy as neuter, and guru means masculine as teacher. Both are correct.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Anything else? So, all right. Classes time is over. But anyway, I just thought I will share with you that, the next obvious we had started. I wanted to continue today. We will continue next week. That's okay. The plan of action is like this now. Between now and the end of third week of May, we will try to cover some ground. All right. And you will have exercises from May 20th to about June 20th for about a month. You will have no Sanskrit classes, okay? Because I have to go for retreats in Anekati. So there'll be no Sanskrit classes at that time. So you will have time to catch up. And you will get probably more exercises so that you can work on them. All right. So consolidate what we have well, because consolidation is important. I'm very happy with a lot of you have taken time to do the exercises, because Asmat and Ishmat, all the optional forms right will take a good deal of exercise. Okay. If you wrote it without seeing the book, you did very well. If you had to look at the book, by the time 1 or 2 months go, make sure you don't need a book for them. Because with the book, we can do reasonably well. Without the book is harder. And this te, you should be able to see it's also in, in idam shabda or tat shabda. Should see all the possibilities. All right. So what I intend to do is to give you more things for karmani bhave prayoga, because it's not just tinganta. We have to cover some subanta words for that. So it becomes more complete. We'll do that. And if we have time, we'll do a little of sandhi maybe to make things more clear. And we will stop with that for basic Sanskrit. So in June, 4th week or so, we will start with some Panini to make things more easier in the long run. All right, that's the plan. So please consolidate, work on it well. Don't, even if you don't have exercise, don't sleep on it. Work on what we already got. So in that context, you'll find a new, spreadsheet sitting in our Shabdarupa slides, So this 4th one called Ajanta Halanta Takaranta. All right. Ajanta 2 and Halanta 1. This is a new one. Just put it in. So let me do one thing. I'm going to share again. This won't work otherwise. Share.
95 page.
Just 1 second.
Swamiji,
No,
page
I don't
95.
need Shabda Manjari, okay? I'm showing you what we have put out for you here. Okay. As part of the slides. So you will find here that the first slide will cover what I call the Paninian standard endings. Okay. Suau, just etc. Don't have to memorize it right now, but if you can, it's good. Useful later. Second slide is the same without Paninian extra characters. This will be very useful if you want to memorize any of the Halanta Shabdas. Okay. This will fit in like a glove in most of the cases. Very useful to have this in your head. Then you will find Ikaranta Pullinga, Ukaranta Pullinga, which many of you may know already. Then there is Datra Shabda, Rikaranta. Okay. And what I want you to look also is that there are similar words which decline like Datra. This is how our vocabulary will grow in by a long stretch. Because every verb can give in Rikaranta Shabda, every word, by adding Trich Pratyaya. And you will have so many words that you can decline once you know Datra. Okay. So pay attention to these. And if you want matra, pitra, etc., there is a slight difference. Look in Shabda Manjari, you will see what's the difference. Pita, pitarau, pitaraha, not pitaraha. You know, pitaram, not pitaram, dataram, it will be. That small difference, if you notice, pitra Shabda, matra Shabda will be done. No trouble. Okay. Then you have ikaranta mati, and here I am deliberately saying you first memorize nadi and hari, and then you will find it's very easy to come up with mati shabda. All the forms will just be between those two. Mataye will be like, you know, haraye. Matye will be like nadi. All right. Then dakaranta suhrit shabda, very good as a sample for alanta. No changes almost. And then this is a slight error. They should have been reversed. Okay. Suhrit should come first, and then alone suhrit should come, because both are possible. But I would like to keep the first one as the word which is correct, and the second one is because of sandhi. Suhrit is the form here. And then you have marut, and you have this is a participle form, very useful. Memorize this. It will help you a lot. Only first 5 forms are different. That's why you'll see a lot of words will decline like pachat. So this similar words is where I'm trying to enhance. Okay. As I say it, Shabda Manjari gives you templates, but doesn't necessarily tell you how to use them and where to use them. And that part I'm trying to supply to you. Okay. So take a look at these and start working on them. If you already know what we have done so far, get these under your belt. If you haven't got it, then work on what we have still do. That's why I've ordered them as slide 1, 2, 3, 4. So you go in that sequence. Okay. But slide 4 is very important. Slide 5 will be in with hopefully before the end of the week, which will have nakaranta halanta shabdas. Okay. So you will find that there's a lot of similarities. Once you learn 1 or 2, this bihi, biha will be same everywhere. You should be able to guess it without knowing. Okay. All right. Anything else you want to ask? If not, already long enough, we will stop. If you have something to ask, I will still answer. Hopefully all of you have no trouble uploading exercise. If you have trouble with the computer, typing, etc., don't worry about typing. Handwrite it, take a picture and upload it. Okay. I don't want you to spend all your effort trying to learn how to use a computer at the age of 68. Okay. It's not the best use of your time necessarily. Think about it. If you like to do it, please do it. I won't say don't do it, but you decide what is a good use of your time. I want the class to be helpful to you and not take your time unnecessarily. Okay. But using computing skills is good. The older you are, the less the benefit. Okay. Because you don't have much time to use more of it. Think about it and do what you think you're comfortable with. I have looked at almost everybody's exercise so far because there are fewer people who submitted. But if the numbers go up, then I will not be able to do justice. All right. So look at it and do your best. So far as submit something, you will get an answer. So submit what you know, even if it's handwritten, and see what the answers are. Understand why they are what they are. If you have a question, ask. All right. Get this fundamentals straightened out. And once we come back after June, at the end of June, you will find that we will have a much bigger vocabulary, and the nature of exercise can be more interesting, not just words. Then more sentences will come. Already you see I made a transaction. 2.1.2.2 now has got Sanskrit to English translation. We have to work on that. And English to Sanskrit. We will make it verses later. Okay. So it will be making you grow more as you do. The more you put in effort, the more you will grow. Okay. But if you have difficulty, let me know and I'll see how I can. That's the purpose. And also somebody wrote to me and told me that there's a YouTube class, there's a class from Chinmaya International. When Brahmachari is doing Sanskrit for Shastra or something. So they said it's easier. So if any of you are interested in going there and checking it out, please do. You're always welcome to find all the resources and use them. Okay. And if you find it more easy to follow, you're welcome to stay with that also. Okay. So do what makes more sense. Chinmaya International is, obviously an organization, and they're doing it in a more professional way. I'm a one-man army here, so it will never match their resources. All right, but see what makes sense to you. I'm telling you because I want you to gain the language. It doesn't matter whether you come to this class or go to another. If you want to study Shastra, gain some language. It will help you. All right. Thank you all.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Thank you.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Thank you, Swamiji.